Happening now, the Centers for Disease Control has confirmed that a patient being treated for the coronavirus here in San Antonio was released from a federally ordered quarantine health facility yesterday, but has tested positive again after their release. So the big question, how did this happen? According to the CDC, that person was not showing any symptoms of the coronavirus when they were released, and they met the CDC criteria for release, including 2 negative test results 24 hours apart. But after they were released yesterday, a subsequent test came up positive for the coronavirus. The patient has already been taken back to a health facility. Again, those positive results came back after the patient was released from quarantine. Here's what we know about the patient. That person had been under isolation while being treated at a medical facility here in San Antonio for several weeks following a return from Wuhan, China. Tonight, we're learning that the discharged patient did have some contact with others while outside of isolation. Right now, the CDC and local health officials are tracing that person's steps to figure out if there's been any additional exposure, and they're notifying those affected of their potential risk. For more on this developing story, we want to go to Eyewitness News reporter Mariah Medina, who is live on the city's northwest side with the very latest. Mariah.
Phil, like you just said, the CDC said that this individual had twice tested negative for the new strain of the coronavirus and that they're bringing them back into quarantine out of an abundance of caution after they received a weak positive result. According to the CDC, this person had flown in from Wuhan, China and was held in isolation for several weeks. Now, they said that they released this person yesterday after they twice tested negative for the virus and tests collected more than 24 hours apart. Now, while officials say this person had contact with others after they were released, the CDC isn't saying where or when. They say they're tracing back this person's steps to warn people of possible exposure to the coronavirus. Now, we are working to get more information about this person and where they were before they returned to quarantine. The CDC is also saying that because this virus is so new, they know very little about its cycle and that they're going off the best science that they have. Now, the CDC says they are aware of individuals who have alternated back and forth from positive to negative status. Of course, this is a developing situation that we are continuing to monitor. For now, reporting live from the city's northwest side, Mariah Medina, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, Mariah, our thanks to you for that live report. And with this new information tonight, our city and county leaders are voicing their concerns. Eyewitness News reporter Vanessa Croy joins us now with their reactions. Vanessa.
Well, Phil, city and county leaders are saying this should never have happened in the first place. This after they've publicly called out federal officials asking for help. Mayor Ron Nirenberg released a statement tonight saying the fact that the CDC allowed the public to be exposed to a patient with a positive COVID-19 reading is unacceptable. The mayor goes on to say, we will hold the CDC accountable to providing complete transparency for the public. The situation is exactly why we've been asking for federal officials to accept the guidance of our medical community. And County Judge Nelson Wolf shared those sentiments, accusing the CDC of doing nothing to address their concerns. In a statement released tonight, Judge Wolf said, this has been our biggest concern, and now we will experience the consequences of no action. The judge talks about the concerns he raised to federal officials about the inappropriate accommodations, the risk of exposure during transportation, and the need for additional monitoring and extended quarantine periods. He goes on to say, quote, our federal representatives, the CDC and the U.S. Department of Defense cannot and should not ignore us now. And Precinct 4 County Commissioner Tommy Calvert said he's paying close attention to every development in the fight to keep the community safe. He says a recent article in the New England Journal of Medicine suggests a 14-day quarantine period is just not enough.
And I will reemphasize that the state may have to do an emergency declaration, the governor, to give the local authorities all control that we should have in emergency. Now, remember, the federal government still supersedes the state. But I believe that we have to actually, in essence, almost set up our own checkpoint upon time that the person with quarantine exits. If they exit into our civilian territory off the Lackland Air Force Base, they're ours at that point.
Calvert said he's been raising these concerns since February 1st. Live in studio, Vanessa Croy.